So yesterday, Peter Doocy, his daddy is Steve. He is the morning show host over at Fox and Friends. And Peter Doocy really went after the White House on the illegals coming across the border. Now, this is interesting. There was a big controversy in the world of tennis. One of the major tennis stars was not allowed into the country because he refuses to get the China virus vaccine. Meanwhile, you have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of illegals coming across our border, and none of those people are vaccinated. And Doocy asked the White House about the double standard.
Protocols, I'd refer you to them. They have their own specific protocols as well. So they're two different things. They're two different things.
But so how is it two different things? Somebody unvaccinated comes over on a plane. You say that's not okay. Somebody walks into Texas or Arizona unvaccinated. They're allowed to stay. Why?
But that's not how it works. Like we actually no.
I know that that's not what you guys want to happen, but that is what is happening.
But that's not. It's not like somebody walks over and that's not how.
Exactly what's happening.
Well,
thousands of people are walking in a day. Some of them turn themselves over. Some of them are caught. Tens of thousands a week are not. That is what is happening.
So let me just lay out what we have done under this administration. We have installed new border technology and set up joint protocols with Mexico and Guatemala to catch more human traffickers. We have already made over 3,000 arrests in the first 3 months of launching an unprecedented anti-smuggling campaign with regional partners. We've secured record levels of funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
So there you have it. That was from the White House press briefing yesterday. I want to go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Congressman Barry Loudermilk from Georgia joins us. Congressman, you hate to call somebody ignorant, but I've never heard such an ignorant press secretary before.
It's unbelievable, but it's consistent with the entire White House right now. Everything they do, it sort of reminds me of the scene in Wizard of Oz where Dorothy is standing there in front of the wizard and the curtain flies open and you see the guy behind the throne there operating the machines, and he says, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. This is exactly what it is. Pay no attention to the truth. Pay no attention to the fact of what's going on. You need to just listen to what we're saying. And the entire house of cards is crumbling around them, and they don't know how to deal with truth. And they just believe that if they say it, the American people are going to accept it because they have the mainstream media on their side. But Americans' eyes are being opened, and they really don't know how to deal with reality.
No, they don't. And the idea that she had no idea people were walking across the border every single day by the tens of thousands is just bizarre to me. I mean, at least Jen Psaki would have come up with some sort of an answer. I mean, Jean-Pierre has said absolutely nothing, and it's deer in headlights every single day. But you know what? She's the spokesperson for a deer in headlights administration. So there you go.
Exactly, and it's consistent with everything from the Afghan withdrawal to vaccine mandates to everything that they're doing. Student loan handout is don't bother us with logic, common sense, or fact. We're going to do what we want to do, and then we'll just sell it to the American people, whether it works or not. As long as we accomplish it, that's all that matters.
Looking back, a one-year anniversary of Afghanistan, you mentioned Afghanistan, Congressman. What are the lessons that we should have learned from what happened a year ago today?
Well, it's lessons that we had already known going into it, is that when you pull out of an area that is still embedded and surrounded with people like ISIS or the various terrorist groups that were there, that's not going to leave a vacuum. They're just going to fill it up. It's going to turn over. And for us to act like we're naive and we're just going to pull out and the Afghans are going to be able to continue with a form of democracy and that all of our citizens will just be able to get out, that was naive. But again, I think it's back to the president, his advisors were being told this isn't going to work, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to do what I want to do. And it doesn't matter what the outcome is. And you can see that happening right now because the president is still proclaiming it was a successful mission when the rest of the world knows it was a debacle. but he's still trying. I think they're convinced that this was successful because we completed what we wanted to do, which also tells me the safety and security of American citizens that were there was not a concern of theirs. It still isn't a concern of theirs. It also tells me that they're really not concerned about how America stands on an international front, because right now nobody trusts the United States. Our allies don't trust us, and our enemies are not afraid of us. But none of that mattered because they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, which was simply get the troops out. It doesn't matter what happens to anyone else.
Oh, you're right. On the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line, Congressman Barry Loudermilk from the 11th Congressional District in Georgia. Congressman, the president is supposed to be giving a speech later this week talking about democracy under attack. And I'm wondering where this is going. You know, this guy promised to be the great uniter, but now, you know, he's resorted to calling the entire Republican Party a bunch of fascists.
Well, this is more indication is that they are blind to what's going on in the country. They're tone deaf to what Americans need, what they want. They failed in every aspect of everything that they said that they would do, including uniting the country. They have failed on the economy. The economy was strong. They have destroyed our economy. We are now in a recession. And it was obvious we were going to be going into a recession before the numbers came out, because all the Democrats started going on television and redefining the word of recession. That told you that, hey, they knew we were heading that way, so they just need to redefine it so they can go out and tell Americans, look, it doesn't matter what you're paying. It doesn't matter if you can't find baby formula. Our economy is strong. It doesn't matter that you're falling behind the curve as inflation goes up and you're effectively not making more money, you're making less money. We're fine. Our economy is strong. This is the type of thing that it amazes me. I mean, it's beyond logic. And so now they're resorting to, well, even though we're effectively destroying democracy and the people are upset about things like the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago, well, quit looking at that. That, even though that violates the Constitution, we just need to redefine the Constitution, right? And so they're going to go on the attack and say, look, everything that's wrong, it's really the Republicans. It's not us. It's not our failed policies. It's the Republicans, especially those who want to make America great again. It's those Republicans that are the problem. I don't know. I remember when I was in college and I took a psychology class, and I think it was called projection, that people will project their own problems onto somebody else to justify themselves.
Congressman, we're going to leave it there. Always appreciate your great insight and hope you have a great Labor Day weekend coming up.
All right, Todd. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.
All right. Congressman Barry Loudermilk from Georgia.